So let's get to some nitty gritties, okay?
Okay.
The nitty gritties are this: in that 13 months that you did this, did you make any money?
I've probably made over $120,000.
$120,000.
Yes.
Wow.
In just that short of
the
time.
average person makes about $50,000 a year, and you're telling me now, do you have to work at this full time, or you work at it part time, or how many hours does that take to make 125,000, or 120, whatever you know?
You know, that's kind of hard to say because I am so into this, and it is so fun that I do it all the time. And
you do? Okay.
Yeah.
And what makes it fun? I mean, who the hell wants to go to work and it's fun? I mean, it's fun. How can work be fun?
It's fun because you're meeting all kinds of neat people. It's fun because when you actually get a property,
yeah,
it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, you work so hard and you work so hard to get a property, and then you get a property and you work really hard to sell the property, and you make a ton of money. That's the best part.
So you made $100,000 your first year.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did.
Wow, wow. Well, that's an interesting story. Let's talk about some of the deals, because you did a lot of deals.
Okay. Well, I have this property right here, and this is one that I got. There was an auction the end of September, and I got 2 properties at that point, and this was one of them. Okay. And of course, I got the information from the county about what was going to be auctioned, and then I did my research. I looked up to see on the property appraiser site what there was about this property, because all I knew was its identification number. So I had to see where it was and what it was. And everything that you want to know about the property is there, because that's how they figure out to pay, what taxes they're going to charge you. So you can see if there's a house there, if it's just a lot. You can see how big the house is with square feet. You can see if it has a garage or a fence, just everything there is to know. And this was in a very, very good neighborhood, but not a big fancy neighborhood, but a good neighborhood. And then you go and you look at the properties. So you drive around to see what's there. And that's when I found out this was a really good neighborhood. And I talked to some of the neighbors that were around. Everybody had their grass mowed. There were a lot of people out mowing the grass, and this was during the week. So no bad cars, nothing. It was a very nice neighborhood in a nice part of town. And so I was quite excited about it. And I got this property for the taxes. And that was quite a surprise.
No other bidders?
I was the only one on this property.
Wow.
Anyway, so I got the property, and the first thing I did was I got the recorded deed so that I knew it was mine, and then I went ahead and I paid when you buy it for the taxes, you're not paying the current taxes that are due. And so I went ahead and paid those because they were actually past due.
So you're paying the back taxes.
Yes.
And now you have to pay the current taxes.
Right.
So you don't go at the sale.
Right.
Yeah.
So everything was paid because those were past due, but they weren't part of the sale because the information about the sale went in before the current taxes had been due, but now they were past due. So I paid for all of that and got the locksmith, so I could see what it looked like inside, because...
And what was it, a house, or what was it?
It's a house on a corner lot.
Yeah.
And I did the research and found that this house, there were a few houses for sale in the neighborhood, and I found out what they were worth, and I looked at things that had sold. I don't look at what the listed price is, because who cares? You want to know, what are people paying right now for these properties?
Right.
And there were houses for sale in this neighborhood that had sold within the last 4 months, and that were as close as a half a mile away, and they had sold for everywhere. The lowest one was $122,900, and they went up to $186,000.
Wow.
And so I knew this was...
What did you pay?
$5,000. What does that number say?
I can give you. I got my
glasses
glasses on. $416. $5,418.03.
That's what I paid for this property. $5,000.
Do you have a picture of it?
I have a picture of this property.
I don't believe this. You paid $5,000 for $120,000. Let me see that. Wow. Look at that.
Nice.
Okay, you could move. I've lived in houses that weren't that good. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. There's a swimming pool in the back. It's completely fenced in the back. This one was a little bit differently because I only put a little bit of money into it, and it was my money. I didn't have an investor on this one. I did what they call carry back a mortgage. I financed it.
You were the banker.
I was the banker.
So now Puff is the banker.
Puff is a banker now.
You're the banker.
Yes. So
I love it. Okay, so you're the banker.
I sold these people gave me $1,000
Yeah.
on the spot to hold the house.
Yeah.
And I sold it to them for $74,900, and they were thrilled.
Wait a minute. You're saying they were thrilled. What about you?
Oh man, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I called you.
You had $5,000 and you made it into $70,000.
75,000, almost less $100.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Isn't that great? That's a pretty cool
That's
deal.
a great story.